Welcome to High Oracle Spiritual Healing Channel. And I wanted to give you a story time today because a lot of people, they think that when you're spiritually healing, that it is supposed to be something that you can rush through. I spent, in many cases, fighting a warlock. I spent about 5 years, just fighting off the negative energy that had affected me, that had affected the property. I healed the property. I healed myself. And when I finished healing the property and myself, then that negative energy ultimately went back to that individual that was sending that negative energy. So this is not a rush job. This is not something that you think that, you're going to get in and it's going to be, a month or 3 months, sometimes even a year. So, depending on what the situation is, how long it's been going on in your life, and if you have the spiritual know-how, because sometimes people can come to me and say, I want this type of cleanse. I want I want a money cleanse. I want a health cleanse. And then when we start cleansing that negative energy and pulling those layers of dark matter off of you, that black matter off of you, and then the person becomes sick. They get sick after cleansing, and then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore because, and the understanding here is in order to remove the negative energy out of your stomach. If someone has poisoned you in your stomach, if someone has poisoned your mind, if someone has stagnated you and poisoned your feet, so, your hands and your feet do not gain any wealth, or you're rejected, or, you're stagnated in life, then many times you're going to, feel the pain, and you're going to feel that sickness in your body coming out of your body. You're going to have to vomit. You're going to have a bowel movement. And depending on how long it's been there, this may take, 6 months to a year if you have those types of blockages in your life. It may take longer than that. So this is why I wanted to give you the understanding that some of the warlocks that were in my life, that I recognized that were in my life, it took me 7 years to get away from those types of warlocks, because they were experienced at harming people. They were experienced at, deflection. They were experienced at sending negative energy to people. So we have this type of understanding that once you break that negative energy, that goes back to that person, that person's family. It goes back to their children. It goes back to their life, their finances, and anything along those lines. But it's not a rush position. It's not something that you can rush through. It's something that you have to be prepared for. And I had to, when I was breaking away from the negative energy with neighbors, with these people, and I'm fighting different types of battles with these types of people, then that was the reason that I would just save my money, because I knew that I had to gather the types of material that I would need in order to remove these people out of my life, because they were trying to have a stronghold in my life. They were trying to plant other people in my life as if I did not see them. Okay, they were trying to steal money, steal anything of value, steal my gifts, mimic me. They were trying to do things that I would do, and then when things did not work out for them, then they were, looking at me like, it's because you did something to me. It's because you hate me. It's because, no, it's just because you're not me. Okay, so we have this understanding. We have this understanding that a lot of these people that you're cleansing out of your life, they are being cleansed and exposed. You're going to experience that loneliness. You're going to experience an isolation that you've never experienced before, because God is showing you each and every person that you are eliminating from your life. God does not want those people to move forward with you in life. They're not your pair. If you were in a relationship with them, then they're not your pair. So you're experiencing this type of pain. You're experiencing different types of isolation, where you're isolated from family members. You're isolated from, those lovers. You're isolated from your children. See, because the reason for that is, again, some of the people that you have been around, some of the people in your family has a wicked design against you. So when we start cleansing these types of negative energy out of your life, then you have to be prepared for that. I had to be prepared, and I had to tell many people, I didn't ask you to come and stay with me. You came to stay with me because you needed help. And this is what I require, that you're here. You're going to pay your rent. You're going to go to work, and you stay out of my business. Stay out of my business. I didn't ask you to come here. Okay, so there are some of the narcissists in my life that said, oh, you asked me to come here, and why would I ask you to come and stay with me so you can get in my business, so you can steal from me, so that you can do whatever, create whatever habit you're going to create. So these are the types of, deflection these types of people will go through. When you're letting them know, I don't need you, and I don't need you, and I didn't ask you to come around me. Okay, and you have to have that attitude, and that's what I mean. You have to be prepared when the spirit is exposing these people in your life, that they never had good intentions for you. I saw, at one point in time, I think I cleansed like, 10 to 13 people out of my life, and that includes husbands, cousins, family members, friends, neighbors. 13 people fell away. I'm talking about a whole group of covens fell off at one time. People started to be unalived. And this is what I mean. You have to be prepared to lose people. There were people who had wicked designs, who tried to, tell lies on me, smear campaigns, people who were targeting me, people that broke in my house, and these types of negative attacks upon chosen ones will happen, especially when you start to cleanse yourself of the negative energy. Things will start to get worse. You will start to get sick. When I was cleansing the negative energy out of my life, out of my body, I started to get sick. I started to, have different kinds of problems with my health. I started to have different kinds of problems with the people who were around me on my job. I ended up retiring when I was 35. Allah Akbar for that, because I didn't want to continue to work for somebody else when I could work for myself. That's why I opened up the Candy Lady and the Haberdashery. When people see that this negative energy has fallen away from you and it has been backfired on the person that sent it, then God is going to open up those doors for you as well. You're going to start going into new business ventures. And all of this is just to prepare you for what God has for you. And he's showing you what he will do for you if these types of people are not around, who's causing, the financial burdens, who's causing the health problems, who's causing the chaos and disaster in your life. So this is one of the ways that we are understanding that the cleanses that we have been doing have been working, because you have exposed a lot of people. You're isolated. You have more money. You have more freedom. And, there's not anyone there in order to attack, your lifestyle, in order to bring you out of the concentration period of focusing on yourself, focusing on God and healing. So I hope that, you receive this message. I'm sorry. Please book your one-on-one sessions with me if you want, any of the cleanses, the healing cleanses, the dark matter cleanse, the psychic attack cleanse, any type of cleanse, the cleanse your money, any type of cleanse. Please book your consultations and your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. You can also always reach out to me in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to me. Donate to my channel. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.